Welcome to the Voice of All Things.
One of One Piece's most popular mysteries is, who is JoyBoy? So here is everything we know about JoyBoy and some of the mysteries that still surround him. Obligatory spoiler warning for anyone not caught up on the manga.
So, getting right into things. When JoyBoy was first mentioned by Nico Robin in chapter 628, I knew there was a reason why Oda was bringing it up. I take all mysterious events in One Piece very seriously, but initially, I have to admit, I didn't think this was going to rank up there with mysteries like, what is the One Piece? Or what is the Will of D? However, recent events have changed my mind. So, let's talk about what we do know about JoyBoy, why he's important, what he may mean for the story, and what I hope he is not.
First of all, what do we know for sure about JoyBoy?
We know that JoyBoy lived during the Void Century.
And we know he made a promise to the Mermaid Princess at the time and failed to live up to it. The promise was to all Fishman Island, not just her.
He felt the need to apologize to her for this, and someone, possibly JoyBoy himself, had the apology, but not the promise, inscribed by the Kouzuki clan into a poneglyph, and left at Fishman Island.
According to legend, someone will come to fulfill that promise one day.
For it to be fulfilled, the fishmen have to protect Noah, as that is their end of the bargain.
The Sea Kings, which are apparently very sentient, are quite invested in the fulfillment of the promise. After all, Noah was built to be pulled by them.
Someone will need to fix Noah before the apparently set time for JoyBoy to return comes.
Now, all of that was super interesting at the time, but it was chapter 967 that really made us raise an eyebrow when Roger addresses JoyBoy and says, "This is quite a treasure you've left behind," which means the One Piece was left by JoyBoy. He wasn't just someone with a connection to the fishmen that lived during the void, he was at the center of everything that happened at the time. It was there at the location of JoyBoy's treasure that the Roger pirates learned the true history of the world, the meaning of the D, and what the ancient weapons are. All the mysteries tie back to this man.
And finally, we know that JoyBoy himself will reappear. Up until Odin made that declaration, we could have been reasonably expected to assume that someone would just pick up where JoyBoy left off, not that it would be JoyBoy himself that would reappear.
So now let's talk about what we don't know.
Interestingly enough, we don't actually know what the promise he made to the fishmen was. Many of us have jumped to the conclusion that it was to bring them to the surface. But think about this. If the mermaid princess of her time was like Shirahoshi in that she could control the Sea Kings, she could have directed them to pull Noah wherever she wanted. She was the source of that power, not JoyBoy. Using Noah to potentially transport the residents of Fishman Island was potentially their side of the promise, something that could be completed only if JoyBoy held up his end. And what exactly was that?
Oh, I have no idea. But it likely has something to do with whatever happened during the Void Century that caused the destruction of the Lost Kingdom, the creation of the poneglyphs, and the hiding of the One Piece.
We also don't know who built Noah and who needs to fix it. We can likely assume this is the same group that did both things, but honestly, we don't know.
So we also don't know why now. Why is now the time Poseidon appears? Is there a reason? Clearly Poseidon and that other sovereign from a distant sea need to be around at the same time for the promise to be fulfilled and the world to be turned over by whatever you find at Laugh-Tale. But does this timing matter for any other reason?
Finally, we don't know who JoyBoy is. Is he the other sovereign born in a distant sea? Is he Luffy? Is he someone else in the story presently? Obviously, the conclusion we're supposed to draw is that it's Luffy. But is Luffy the new JoyBoy? And what does that mean exactly?
Now, that question brings us to what we hope JoyBoy is not.
Honestly, I hope Luffy isn't the quote-unquote reincarnation of JoyBoy. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't finished the series Naruto and still wants to, but that's what happened in Naruto, and honestly, I didn't like it, and I don't think most of the fan base liked it either. We find out at the end of the series that Naruto was the reincarnation of the son of the source of all chakra or something like that, and it honestly kind of cheapened everything he did. Now, of course, in One Piece, the themes of fate and inherited will are pervasive, but I don't know if even Luffy would like being destined to be the new JoyBoy in this way. Of course, that last little bit was personal preference. I don't want that to happen to my boy Luffy. After all, there are a lot of other ways you can spin the information we've been given.
I also think it would be really stupid if Luffy was JoyBoy. So let's talk about what else it could be. JoyBoy could actually return. Who said he's dead? And we've been introduced to both immortality and time travel in One Piece.
JoyBoy also doesn't have to be the sovereign born in another sea. He could just reincarnate, so to speak, as someone else, or a different character in the series.
And it could just be a title, like Pirate King, meaning Luffy will simply fill the role of the JoyBoy. Luffy, after all, has carried the wills of others many times. He let Vivi use him as a vessel for her will when he liberated Alabasta. He fulfilled Law's will when he took down Doflamingo. And he carries the will of the Kouzuki clan now as he fights to defend and open up Wano. Having him continue the will of JoyBoy once he learns it may be no different than how Yamato is determined to carry on Odin's will.
Of course, there is the very, very high possibility that everything any of us think about JoyBoy is wrong, as this is Oda we're talking about, and he has been known to prove us completely wrong and leave us utterly shocked in the past.
As much as we theorize, I think we're all hoping for that eventuality. So that's it, that's all we know about JoyBoy.
Yo!
Geigo! Hey there!
Don't leave without subbing.
Hey there!
Don't leave without liking.
Hey there!
Don't forget to comment. Hit the
bell,
bell, hit the bell, hit the bell. I'm so sorry.